Drama with a co-founder of OpenAI getting fired and then getting hired on Monday by Microsoft continues, with nearly all OpenAI employees threatening to quit and follow Sam Altman to Microsoft. All this putting a focus on whether artificial intel really is an existential threat or perhaps a massive opportunity. Joining us now is Shervin Pishevar. He is CEO of Edisonalpha and former executive chairman of Hyperloop One. Great to see you, Shervin. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Great to see you, of course.
What is the very latest on the story? Because we're now hearing that Microsoft, that OpenAI is trying to bring him back in. They realize they made a hell of a mistake. What's the latest? You know the inside.
It's been a soap opera over the weekend, and the latest news seems to be saying that Sam might be joining a kind of an interim board of directors at OpenAI that would be replacing the existing board of directors that fired him on Friday. So it's been a lot of back and forth. I think at the end of the day, I'm very long on Microsoft because Satya is a genius and has hired Sam Altman and his co-founder of OpenAI to lead an AI research institute at Microsoft. But there's rumors that Sam might be coming back again to OpenAI, potentially through this new board. And the board of directors that kind of caused this entire mess might be stepping down. I think one example I want to insight from this is, the corporate governance in Silicon Valley has been very weak, board structures and board members. And we've seen this kind of behavior.
We saw that, by the way, with Silicon Valley Bank.
Where I used to be a board member. What was that?
We saw that with Silicon Valley Bank. I mean, there are plenty of examples of where boards have been weak and made terrible mistakes.
But also specifically, like Steve Jobs was fired by the Apple board years ago. Travis Kalanick was ousted by the Uber board, and now this has happened to Sam Altman. I've known Sam for a very long time. We were both young app developers when Steve Jobs launched the App Store on the iPhone in 2008. And he's a great person, and he is absolutely one of the geniuses of America. Really, the type of person that would lead a Manhattan Project on something this important.
So why did they fire him?
It's still cloudy. They have not. The board has refused to say the exact reasons. It's a real mess. And I think at the end of the day, we'll find out a lot more, but the board is not actually saying anything about specific reasons. And so it's pretty unprecedented what we're seeing over the weekend. But this is again, like, AI is the most powerful technology invented in human history. We're moving at speed towards massive disruption to all industries. We're in a race with China. One thing I'll tell you, China is not firing their Sam Altmans. China is going full speed ahead. And the 12 to 24 months that we had as a lead with OpenAI might be lost. And so what I'm specifically lobbying for and pushing for is America needs to take this a lot more seriously. This is as important as the Manhattan Project was to get the nuclear bomb and win World War II. We need to have quantum and AI supremacy, and it's important to kind of take leadership here and invest in AI for our future.
Well, and there clearly are military applications for all this. They just talked to the Chinese. I'm not sure they did the right talking with the Chinese about it, the Biden administration, but they had that. I want to switch to another subject, if you don't mind, which is Elon Musk. You know a little bit about Elon, to say the least. First of all, he's got this lawsuit against Media Matters, which is a left-wing site that was trying to sort of use X against itself to prove that Elon Musk is an anti-Semite based on a lot of false tweets. Do I have that right?
I think what I've seen, I looked at the lawsuit that Twitter, well, now X, has filed against Media Matters, and what they're saying is that they engaged in blatant, indefensible, and malicious fraud, really manipulating the data. At the same time, Elon and X has to work hard to make sure that there's no anti-Semitism that is being promoted in their platform. And Elon has said, very strongly that he's committed to that. He's a personal friend. I've never
You don't think
heard him
he's
say
anti-Semitic? You've never heard him.
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
We've built and collaborate on many ideas, and I think he's one of our great entrepreneurs as well.
I do too.
And I think Media Matters is an organization that is more on the kind of woke left side that is trying to really stop someone.
They want
like
to get rid
Elon.
forgive me, but we're running out of time. I mean, the bottom line is they want to get rid of Elon Musk. The fact is that X has had far fewer anti-Semitic comments on it and items on it than either TikTok or Facebook. TikTok in particular has just been horrible in the number of anti-Semitic stuff. And yes, Elon has had problems. He has had problems with the Anti-Defamation League, which is run by a guy who's generally on the left of the political sphere, but that has nothing to do with Semitism, anti-Semitism. It's just his political orientation. I think that's where it got all messed up. But we got to leave it there. Shervin, please come back and see us. Thank you very much.